welcome back to Devoted. I've got my spiritual warfare shirt on. I don't know, probably not a spiritual warfare shirt, but it's a nice shirt. I like it. It's a gift from someone in the church. I don't know who, but thank you if you gave it to me. So, hey, so I was in the first grade, and I had a little girlfriend. Her name was Amy Smith. Timmy and Amy sitting in a tree. Kissing. You remember that? Some of y'all are finishing it right now. So we're on the playground at Morningside Elementary, and as we're there, we were also I think we're having lunch together. So it was my first big date with my first real woman, first grade, and 6 years old. Having, I think, peanut butter sandwiches in the sand pit there, right there in the playground. I remember having the peanut butter sandwiches. I had a Snoopy, I had a yellow lunchbox with, and the lunchbox was in the shape of a bus. Well, or I guess that's right. Yep. And in one of the buses, it was all the characters of Charlie Brown, but Snoopy was driving the bus, I think, and Woodstock was flying and all that good stuff. So I remember opening that lunchbox, and I think we were sharing peanut butter sandwiches, and I had some candles and some rose petals. Anyway, so Eddie Wilkerson, bully, even in the first grade. Now, that feud continued all the way to, my gosh, I think I was 15, 16 years old. I think I was a junior in high school. He wanted to meet me after school and beat me up, meet me in behind the... So guess, and everybody's like, ooh, the school's like, Eddie and Tim are going to fight, and back in the day I was known as Timmy. Eddie and Timmy are going to fight. Well, guess what? I showed up, Eddie didn't. End of that, right? But it goes back further, I think. It goes back a little further, like in first grade. So first grade, I'm getting bullied. Somebody say bullied. Somebody say bullied. I was getting bullied by Eddie Wilkerson, and he came over and he kicked sand. Yeah, like the proverbial 99-pound weakling. I don't think I was close to 99 pounds at the time. But he kicked sand at our lunch and in our faces, and kind of interrupted this romantic moment with me and Amy. And I just remember at one point I looked up and I think he was the vice principal, but let's just call him the principal. I'm pretty sure it was either the vice principal or the principal. His name was Mr. White. I remember Mr. White. And I looked up, I saw Mr. White. He was he's the principal. I walk over to the principal and I stand beside the principal. And guess who didn't bother me the rest of recess? James 4. Listen to this. James 4, specifically, we're still working on verse 8, right? We finished verse 7 last week. Listen to the first part of verse 8. Come near to God, and he will come near to you. Now, remember what was right before that. The one that we looked at the last couple of weeks was verse 7, right? And it says, remember this? Submit yourselves then to God, first part. Second part, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. A third part, come near to God, and he will come near to you. So apparently, you got to do more than just resist the devil. I could have pushed Eddie. I could have kicked sand back at Eddie. I didn't. I had the whereabouts. I had the somewhat of the sound mind at that moment to walk over to the principal. I stood next to the principal, and guess what the bully didn't do while I'm standing next to the principal? The bully didn't bully. Are you picking up what I'm dropping down? I think that's a picture that the Lord gave me about that. I think part of the spiritual warfare that we're talking about, the more we draw near to God, the less the enemy really has access to us. Now, let me make this postscript. Let me make this kind of addendum. Let me make this side note. As soon as I was studying for this and thinking about this, one of my very favorite Old Testament stories came to mind. In 2 Kings, if you will, I think it's 2 Kings 6, right? I won't read the whole story, but there's Elisha, and he's surrounded by the Arameans, right? And he's sleeping, but Gehazi, now it's not named in the story, but we know Gehazi is Elisha's servant. We think it's Gehazi. And so Gehazi, he hears about this, Gehazi, and he's scared. So he's scared the fact that he sees that early in the morning, all the soldiers, all the warring parties of the Arameans are surrounding just the man of God, Elisha, and the one servant, Gehazi. And so the servant goes and yells, "Oh no, Lord, what shall we do? Don't be afraid. Those who are with us are more than those who are with them." As Elisha prayed, "Open his eyes, Lord, that he may see." And instantly the Lord opened the servant's eyes, and he looked and he saw the hills full of horses and chariots of fire all around Elisha. So understand, here's this little campground of Elisha and Gehazi. Then there's this ring of soldiers from the Arameans, and then behind them is the ring of fire. Johnny Cash, anybody? The ring of fire. The ring of fire around the Arameans. Understand this. Just because we stand by the principle doesn't mean we won't see spiritual warfare. It just means the more we stand near the principle, capital P, the less likely we'll be attacked. Make sense? It makes sense, doesn't it? By the way, in school, I learned how to spell principle the right way. Principle is a ruling principle. It's a value. It's some kind of a value. Like I have certain principles. Principal is the noun, the person, the principle. I remembered it with the last three letters. PAL. Your principal is your pal. I know, corny, but it helped me understand that as a kid. I want you to understand that if you are being bullied by the enemy, why don't you stand next to the principal? Draw near to God, and he'll draw near to you. That doesn't mean you won't see spiritual warfare. It doesn't mean you may not even experience spiritual warfare. But it sure as heck will mean that the principal is standing right next to you. I think that's going to mitigate the power and the authority of the bully in your life. The bully being the enemy. Making sense? I think it makes sense. All right. Be blessed. Be devoted to drawing near to God. The principle. Capital P. Love you guys. Be blessed in Jesus' name.